The idea of G-Trak came from me swinging a golf club in the house. I just got new golf clubs. It was in the winter in February, and I went out into the garage to get my new clubs. And I just started taking some swings in the living room. That's the only place in the house where we've got like a vaulted ceiling. So I'm taking a few swings in there, and she's just looking at me, but I'm in front of her and everything. The TV's on, and I kind of scuffed the floor. And she's like, "Stop, you need to find somewhere else to do that." So I went down in the basement with my clubs, and I thought, well, maybe I can come down here and do some swinging, but I only have 8-foot ceilings, so didn't want to hit the ceiling. And she's like, "Why don't you just take the cars out of the garage and go swing out there?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." So most garages averages about a 9-foot plus of garage ceiling height, which is more than enough room to swing a golf club. So I pulled the cars out, shut the garage door again. You know, it's night. I was going through all my clubs, and I had enough room for everything. And I was like, man, this would be, it'd be really cool if I could maybe set up something in here where I could hit balls into it. Came back in the house after being out there for a while, and I went online, and I'm just looking around. I'm looking like there's got to be something out there that like some kind of screen or net that you can go on in front of your garage door, or maybe you can hang on your garage door tracks or something so you can hit golf balls into. I wasn't interested in the kind that you put together and take down. There's some out there that are kind of like tent poles and stuff. And while those may be great for some people, I don't have enough space in my garage to pull my cars in and have all this stuff. I really didn't want to spend the time putting together and taking down something. And I didn't find anything. So then I had my wife looking, and she was looking, and we didn't find anything. Maybe I just should make something of my own, like string something up. So I made this bracket, and I got aluminum tubing, so it's rigid. So I made a bracket that went around the outside of the garage door tracks, because if it went on the inside, the garage door rollers would hit it. So I made it go on the outside. And I just put in a hard tube in, and at the end it was with another tube that came from the bracket, so it would kind of spin, but it was still taut. And I used clamps, and I clamped my net in there along the way, and I clamped it up. And now we could pull the cars in, and everything's good. And the garage door would still be able to go up and down because the bracket was on the outside. In the spring, my neighbor, we were on the back patio cooking out. And my neighbor next door, I saw him with a remote in his hand, and he made his awning come out. He was going to clean it up for the spring, get it ready for the. And it dawned on me, I'm like, man, I wonder how that works. And I walked over and I talked to him. I'm like, "Where's the motor at on your awning? I don't see it." You know, he had it installed. He goes, "I think it's inside the tube." And then that's when I had a kind of an aha moment. I'm like, well, I've already did the tube, and I'm rolling it up by hand. Maybe if I get an awning motor, I'll go online, I look at the diagrams, how does an awning motor work? Sure enough, it slides inside the tube. I had the aluminum tube. I modified my bracket to fit that tube motor. Put my clamps on it now, and I hit the button, and it all rolled up really nice. And then I hit the button down, and then it all rolled down really nice. For me, I was happy. I'm like, hey, you know, I took this from here to there, and now I could use this every winter, and I could hit golf balls or whenever I want. And then the wife came out of the garage, and I was kind of bragging and sure. I'm like, "Look what I did." And she's like, "Well, you're nuts. You know, you did this stuff." She's like, "You know, do you think anybody else might want that?" And I kind of looked at her, and she's like, "A lot of people like hitting golf balls in the winter." That's when we got the idea that maybe we should patent this. You know, I made these really cool brackets, come up with this whole contraption, and not everybody has the room in their house. So we give another option to people just like us. Their biggest space would be just like us in their garage, and they could use it like we do. G-Trak can be used for quite a few sports. I think that softball and baseball is an easy one because it's a hitting screen. You know, lacrosse is another one that you can have a goalie there, you can have a target, and you can hit your spots. You know, with hockey, you know, with a skid plate and a screen and the hockey target, you know, you can shoot your shots. You know, on your 4-hole, your 5-hole, you know, your 6-hole. You know, you can hone in your skills, especially for kids and stuff in a garage area. You know, they can get that practice in. You know, right there. Even with your golf, like, you know, you can record your own swing and everything. Even if you wanted a golf instructor to look at your swing with the white screen, I mean, that's great for projector use. We sometimes pulled the screen down. We did a Super Bowl party, and everybody loved it. I mean, it was, you know, bigger than life. You know, had the game on. It's designed to fit in an area where most people have that space for it. And I think that that might appeal to a lot of people, just like me.